for the first time in the history of this country, we are having to do debt restructuring. We are having to take from pensioner bondholders, persons who decided to live their life properly, save for future uncertainties. We have a situation where today, the Ken Oforiatta managed economy had produced a situation where we have defaulted even on servicing our public debts and the debt owed to multilateral individuals or whatever. So the question that we should be asking ourselves that the quagmire that the Akufo-Addo-Bawumia administration have put all of us in, is there any way out? One preacher once said something. He said, look, if you find yourself in a hole and you have a clear intention to get out of that hole, what you don't do is to dig more. Wisdom has eluded this government that even in the midst of crisis, that is when they are digging more. So every policy intervention, whether on the fiscal side or the monetary side, has been a disaster. Disaster that has resulted in the fact that today, if you pick about 54 countries in Africa, right? Ghana has the third highest inflation. There are only two countries that we succeeded in beating in the race to the bottom. Zimbabwe and Sudan. And we know the systematic problem with Zimbabwe and its association with Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia many years ago. So clearly, even the two countries that are not doing well or that we have outperformed in the race to the bottom, which is Zimbabwe and Sudan, they have peculiar challenges. Sudan is going through a war. It's more like a war zone now. Zimbabwe is systemic.
But I have to add that recently, just from July, Sierra Leone has been added to that 44.8.
Yes, so that is why I'm saying that they are the only one that we are even performing better. Sierra Leone, after escaping Ebola and the rest. But the point ought to be made very clear that we are dealing with a government that is so resourced that you wonder how they have recklessly plunged all of us into this debt portfolio. Why do I say that this government is the most resourced? Within 8 years, Mills, Mahama, Emisata, 8 years, the envelope of financial resources that was available to this administration was 248 billion. And I recall Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia in those public lectures would always tout John Mahama that what have you been able to do with 248 billion? And that if he, Bawumia, and his boss were in the chair, they were going to build 1,000 factories and many, many kilometers of road network. Roland, this administration, by way of tax revenue alone, till now, have made in excess of 300 billion Ghana cedis, not 248. And when I say the overall financial envelope of financial resources, I'm talking about taxes, I'm talking about loans, I'm talking about grants.